Welcome to Main Street Preps North. Happy Thursday. I'm Brady McAtemney. That's Blaine Keller. Blaine, how are we doing today?
A little snowed in, maybe iced in, depending on how you view it. Just like Robertson County and Montgomery County schools all week, this winter storm has really affected all of us here.
Absolutely. I look outside my window here. I got some trees outside, and all the branches have like icicles hanging from them. You don't really see that often, but it's a pretty sight. Not so pretty if you're on a back road. In that case, you're probably slipping and sliding a little bit. We're excited to bring you a great show today. We've got two guests, our usual segments, and we're going to kick it off by talking to Chase Cronin, head coach of the Kenwood boys basketball team. We talked to him earlier this season, checking back in with him today. Chase, how we doing, man?
So doing a lot better than last time I talked to you guys.
Yep, you guys have definitely gotten some wins since then, especially in the district. Really, the two wins that stand out looking at your guys' schedule, the two wins against Henry County, both at home and on the road. Along with those, how would you say district play has been going for you guys so far?
What's going pretty good. We kind of got rolling kind of at the right time there. Kind of hitting that end of Christmas break, carrying over. Kind of had us some momentum going into it. We're 3-1 now. I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure if we win tomorrow on the road at Dixon, we lock up the number 1 seed for our district tournament. So it's just kind of some exciting times if we can do that.
Yeah, definitely exciting there. You guys started the season pretty slowly. Like you said, doing better now than last time. And then you really started to kind of kick it up around that holiday break. You got a huge win over Station Camp, a really good team this year. What would you say were like maybe some of the key factors in kind of turning that ship around?
Yeah, just the buy-in defensively. Was just kind of the difference. I thought, we are trying to control games more and keep everything in front. We were able to get Giovanni Hernandez back, who's been a big deal for us on the defensive end, with just his voice and his positioning and his abilities to cover up a lot of different things. I just feel like we have bought into kind of playing more together offensively, and then combine that with the improvements that we made defensively. It has helped a ton.
Yeah, two players that you and I have talked a bit about lately, especially after some of the recent games that I've been to, are Keyshawn Papillion and Devon Martin. What are some of the growth that you've seen from those two, and what makes each of those two important for your team?
Yeah, well, Keyshawn won Player of the Week for I can't remember. I think it was Clarksville now, and we did an interview, and I'll tell you, like I told him, Keyshawn just kind of bought into being more of a basketball player instead of a scorer. There's actually been a few games now where he's had double-digit rebounds as a guard. He averages about right under 4 assists a game. He's become a better free throw shooter. He was really bad at that. From last year to this year, he's become a 10 times a better shooter. He's shooting about 41% from 3 this year. I feel like that really helps him a lot because I think the consensus on Keyshawn is whenever we set a ball screen for him, just go under, sag off of him, don't let him get to the rim. Well, now he's making a lot of shots from the outside. I think he's making it hard on teams. With Devon just being a leader, really developing over the offseason as a ball handler and a guy who can kind of put some pressure on the rim. He has not been a good scorer for us at all this year. Outside of the Henry County game we just played, where he had 8 points. I mean, that might be his season high. He's getting better at shooting it. We're really seeing growth in that area in practice, and he got to show a little bit of that on the road in Henry. But Devon just does everything else besides score. He rebounds, passes, handles it, leads in the locker room, leads on the floor. He's a second voice with Gio. If he's not taking the primary defensive assignment, he's taking the secondary defensive assignment. He takes charges. I mean, the list just goes on and on. He's trying to grow into being more of a scorer, and I believe that he'll get there. But right now, his impact is without question every night for us.
Coach, when you talk about the growth, both individually as players and as a team after that Christmas break, into January, into February, what kind of impact has the last couple of days had on that, if at all, knowing that you're kind of spending more time away from the court, away from practice, and away from games than you'd really want to with this snow and ice?
Yeah, man, I don't know. We've been going 6 days a week for a long time this year because we've had the struggle. So, you go 6 days a week and you're going an hour and a half, 2 hours every day. I'm okay with it. I think at this point in the season, you kind of are who you are. Today we're going to work on some stuff to prepare for Dixon. We're going to spend about an hour, 15 minutes doing that. And then, we're going to be done. So we missed yesterday and the day before. But I honestly felt like because of the type of grind we've had to be on to kind of get us caught up, because the hole we dug ourselves, I just kind of thought it was good for us to have a couple of days off, for my staff and for the team. So I'm not really upset about it. I don't think it hurts us now. I mean, I think if it was in November, it would hurt us, or maybe like the very beginning of January. But where we're at now, I mean, everything's in. All of our sets are in. Everybody knows the stuff. It's just about preparing every day for the game and kind of staying in the gym. So we'll shoot, prepare for Dixon, and then we just got to be ready to roll. If we come up short tomorrow night, it's not because we took 2 days off because of the weather. It's just because we didn't come ready to play.
For sure. And as one coach in the district or in the region rather told me, more gold medals are lost from over preparing than under preparing. So, maybe a few days to rest those legs is a good thing, like you said. Now looking at the region, obviously, like you said, still looking to finish up district play, but close to locking up that number 1 seed. Of course, that's the first goal. But looking at the region that you guys will be playing, District 13 with you guys in 14, what have you seen from some of those teams? Obviously, a lot of them that you've already played.
Yeah, I mean, Ross is really, really talented. They're really long, really athletic. They play about 10 guys deep. I think Johnny's got an easier job this year, and I say that jokingly. Johnny's a great coach, but that team's pretty good. So they're a heck of a team. Northeast, I think they're a physical team. They got the Chance kid back. He made an impact his first day back, or second day back, whatever. Versus Northwest, I haven't really kept up with him outside of that, but I know he made an impact and helped him close that win out. And then West Creek, I mean, they run their stuff. They run, kind of come out of that floppy stuff that they run. They run it every time down. They try to get good shots out of that. And so I don't really know where we stand versus any of those teams right now, because I feel like when we played them in the beginning of the year, we were a terrible basketball team. And I don't think we're the best team in the world, but I do think we're much improved. So I think when we go into the region tournament and we play some of those teams, I think it'll be interesting. And the last piece to that is CHS is, with no surprise, starting to kind of build some momentum and maybe turn it around under Ted Young. And like I said, it's no surprise the guy does something crazy with his teams every year. So I think the region's fun. I think it's competitive. I don't know, entirely where we stand. But I don't think, I think it's going to make for a really good region tournament whenever that time comes.
Yep, I agree with that. That region tournament is definitely going to be a good time, as it usually is this year, perhaps more competitive than in recent years. Chase, thank you so much, man, for filling in on kind of short notice here. Definitely appreciate it, and I knew I could count on you. Have a great rest of your day, man, and good luck against Dixon.
Hey, thanks, guys. We'll keep in touch.
Thanks, Coach.
No doubt. All right. Commercial break coming up here. And when we come back, we will have another guest for you. Should be a good one. Stick around.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Run your name.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
A game.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
And we're back on Main Street Preps North, brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, where fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brady, it's a snowy and icy outside, but let's kick it out to Orlando, Florida, where Greenbrier head football coach John Elmore is kicking it. Coach, how's the weather out there?
It's about 70 degrees down here, so it's a little bit than at home.
Not bad.
Gotta ask, what brings you down there? A little vacation in the off season? What do we got going on?
No, actually, my wife is the faculty rep for our Greenbrier High School Showstoppers, our dance team, and they're competing this weekend in basically championships, and they're teams from all over the country. So I came down here with her. So it's this morning they were de-icing the plane, and we landed in 65-degree weather. So not a bad trade-off.
Not a bad reason to go to Orlando. But let's kick it off here by talking about the last time you were in Florida, unless I'm missing another trip here. But go back a little bit over a month ago, and you were at the Orange Bowl watching two of your former players, Nathan Robinson, Derek Taylor, kind of kick it on the sidelines in Tennessee's game against Clemson. Kind of talk about that experience and how special it was for you to catch those two players.
Well, it really was an awesome experience. To have two guys be a part of the University of Tennessee program. Of course, Derek joined the team last year, and Nathan signed at the December signing period. And Nathan was able to practice with him in Knoxville and then in Miami. And he was on the sidelines. Derek actually was dressed for the game. He didn't get in, but he was dressed. And that was really a special night. Be able to see them, on the sidelines, and then see them after the game, get to talk to them for a few minutes. So that was, that's not something you get to do very often.
Yeah, and a great photo from that too. If you look up Becky Elmore's Twitter, you could find the picture of those three together afterwards. But with the February signing period being this week, I wanted to ask a little bit about some other guys who are planning on signing. Not sure if they were planning this week, but if they were, I'm sure that kind of got pushed back with all the snow and ice we've had. But DJ Jackson committed a couple weeks back to Lindsey Wilson College. Elijah Lawson, one of your offensive and defensive linemen who came in this season from East Tennessee, he committed to Cumberland yesterday. Just what did those guys kind of provide for your team this year, and how did they kind of push you to get to the point that you guys got to in the postseason?
Well, just both of them, just tremendous leadership. Their physical ability was obvious, being able to to sign with Cumberland and with Lindsey Wilson. But the things they did on the field, just positive attitude. DJ, he's been such a pleasure to coach and watch over the last 4 years. He enjoys the game. When you watch him play, he has a good time and really enjoys it. So I'm thrilled for him, be able to extend his, playing career. Eli, like I said, moved in from Knoxville Catholic this past summer, and really was a big addition to the team. He solidified our offensive line and defense line as well, and really did a good job for us. After watching film of him, before we ever started, playing for us, his Catholic highlights, you could tell he was a special player, and he played offensive tackle for us and defensive tackle. And I had a feeling that he would get some good looks, and he did. And so he's going to be with the Cumberland Phoenix.
Pretty cool, I would imagine, for a coach to see some of these guys signing off and go into, start really their next phase of life. I got to imagine that's very cool. So looking at the offseason, we're kind of toward that tail end of the senior recruiting cycle. Obviously not quite at that summer workout portion of the offseason yet. I'm sure many people wish we were, because it would be a lot warmer. But I'm curious because, those are really kind of the two offseason things that people think about. But what happens in kind of these middle months, this February to April and May?
Well, right now we're in our winter workout phase, in our strength phase, because we have, several guys that are playing basketball right now, several that are that are wrestling as well. And so once those seasons have completed, they'll come back with us. But yeah, it's right now, it's a lot of just base strength and conditioning, and then movement, change of direction movements 2 days a week. And then, like I said, the base lifts and strength phase 3 days a week. So we're leading up to spring practice, which will be end of April and the first week of May. So it's, I told the players the other day, I said, we have 80 days till spring practice. And that's, that's not a lot of time. We're already, 3 weeks into, almost 4 weeks into the second semester. So it's, time's rolling on already.
Yeah, and Coach, you mentioned some of those basketball players that are part of your football team. Nolan Carson, a huge factor to Greenbrier's basketball success. Travarius Flood, a guy that comes off the bench, but it's your starting quarterback back, and a really key receiver and defensive back as well, a guy who also made a ton of plays on special teams. When you look at the crop of players that are coming back for Greenbrier next season, who are some of those next up guys that could maybe get some college looks going into their senior season?
Well, both those guys you just mentioned, Nolan and Tavares, they actually went to junior day at Austin P last Sunday. So they're getting looks. Reese Jones is another player. He started for 3 years, going into his third year, senior year, as a starting offense tackle, and got a lot of reps at defense as well. He'll have an opportunity to play at the next level. And there'll be some guys that that you not even, don't even think about right now that will come in and get extra work in, and, get their film out there, and then schools will take a look at them. So having Nolan and Tavares coming back, that's a big help for us, to say the least.
Signing day is always a really interesting period. The recruitment cycle is never ending at Greenbrier High School, it seems. Coach Elmore, we appreciate your time today, and really just enjoy the weather out there in Florida.
Oh, definitely will. It's, like I said, we were getting de-iced this morning and landed in sunshine, 69, 70 degrees right now. So it's definitely nice.
Bring some of that back with you, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely come down here this kind of weather. We've had a few days out of school now. It's time to get the trees greened up, get the flowers blooming, and get everything going and feeling a lot warmer.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, appreciate it, Coach. Enjoy the weather, and we'll talk to you next time.
All right, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, John. One more commercial break coming up, and when we come back, our One Thing Game of the Week and Player of the Week. Stick around.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good drive.
There aren't any cops around. I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Run your name, sir.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
It's just a few
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was no big deal. Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
Welcome back to the Main Street Preps North podcast. I'm Brady McTammy. That's Blaine Keller. Of course, as always, brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, where fans don't let fans drive drunk. And Blaine, I'll be honest, after seeing those commercials all the time, it really makes me just never want to drunk drive. I never did in the first place, but I mean, it's really been drilling that into my mind.
Yeah, it's kind of like second nature now. Like I feel like I could almost recite those word for word. It doesn't matter which two it is. I know there's two different ones that we get, and thank you to the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for sponsoring this show, but it really, really sticks into my mind now.
It hits hard for sure. Blaine, let's get into our One Thing segment. Why don't you start us off?
Yeah, we talked with Greenbrier head football coach John Elmore about the signing day period here in February, and Robertson County had no shortage of signees, at least for this week that they had scheduled. Sean Groves will sign tomorrow after, as we talked about last week, reclassifying to the class of 2024, then declassifying back. I'll keep his signing a secret, but you can look at a certain OVC school's website to kind of spill the beans there. Bailey Serenier of Joe Burns goes over 500 miles north to Concordia University, Wisconsin. Devin Crenshaw signs tomorrow morning, Springfield quarterback going to Bethel. You can't forget the cross-country and track and field guys. White House Heritage's Hayden Paget signing with Bethel as well.
Yep, signing day, always fun. I'm still getting all my signing day ducks in a row here. I'm going to have a story up on all the ones signing in this February period, so you can look out for that on Main Street Preps, Twitter, and Main Street Clarksville. But I wanted to talk about the CHS boys. Coach Chase Cronin kind of mentioned it, that Ted Young's kind of getting things going a little bit there. They just got their second win of the season, first in the district and first over a city opponent. On Friday night over West Creek. West Creek, a pretty solid team this year. CHS went there and beat them. It was just a heck of a game. CHS was obviously very excited to get that. West Creek had a great crowd that they brought a bunch of signs and stuff clowning on CHS, and they were happy to get that win, especially Jamar Carnell, who had a great game for Clarksville. He's beaten them in football every year, and it was a lot of football players in that crowd. So he gave them a nice little Damian Lillard type wave off after the game. It was a great atmosphere, and congratulations to Clarksville for getting that win.
Yeah, we talked about teams that are maybe figuring things out now in the last couple of weeks in the season. Kenwood's done it since January, and Clarksville's starting to do it now. White House girls basketball, another team that's maybe starting to piece things together. They're 6-13. They haven't looked very good all season, and I think White House head coach Bailey Falk would tell you that. But they're winning them when they count. They beat Liberty Creek in Portland before all this snow kind of came in. And whenever the schedule picks back up, they have Montgomery Central on their schedule. And Montgomery Central, is most teams in Clarksville know and Robertson County know, a team that's still struggling and trying to rebuild a little bit. So an opportunity to string 3 district wins together and create a tie for second place in District 9 3A.
That's right. It's cool to see teams like that kind of figure things out as the season goes on. Now we talk about teams that have had it figured out. We're talking about the rankings, the Main Street Preps Fab 15. On the boys' side, Clarksville now has 2 teams ranked. Clarksville Academy has been in there. I believe they're at about 8-ish right now, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. And Rossview ranked for the first time this season. They're in at number 12. They have just been absolutely scorching lately. Again, as Chase Cronin said, Johnny Jackson's job a little bit easier this year with such a talented roster. But he's been doing a great job. They just recently went to Missouri and beat our top-ranked team there. Very impressive job by the Hawks. And on the girls' side, it's Rossview and CA again. Neither of them ranked, but both in the just missed column. So Clarksville Academy and Rossview, 2 pretty good basketball programs there. If you go to any of those schools this year for basketball, you're going to see 2 pretty good basketball teams.
Absolutely. And on the Robertson County side, the lone team that was in our Fab 15, East Robertson, dropped out after losses to Knowledge Academies and Joe Burns as of last week. Typically here, I'd give a scoreboard update from Tuesday and Wednesday, but as we've kind of alluded to all show long, nothing has happened. No games. Everything's kind of been rescheduled, but just to kind of give you a quick look into how things are going in the county, East Robertson, Joe Burns, and Greenbrier boys and girls are all playing for regular season titles starting Friday with rescheduled games. Springfield's looking for a number 3 seed on the boys and girls side. So you got a couple of teams that are still competing.
Yeah, man. Kind of similar sentiment here. No games have been played this week. Some teams are making those games up today. For example, Rossview and Northeast, kind of a big one being made up today. I know Clarksville Academy going to be making up their pushed back games on Monday, I believe it was, against Friendship Christian. And as for the rest, I believe all those games are going to be being made up today. I know they were kind of looking at maybe a conflict there because parent-teacher conferences are also today, but they are going to be playing anyway. We're putting basketball ahead of that, and I know some of those kids are probably happy about it.
Yeah, that's probably some good news to them. Give you a little bit of a premature one for our game of the week in Robertson County. You're going to have to wait till Monday to find a really good one. I'll be at Springfield Northeast Friday, and that's got some postseason implications, but you've got a battle between the top 2 girls teams in the county on Monday, and then on the boys' side, number 1 and number 2 debatably in Robertson County. So really exciting matchups to look forward to there. Of course, there's still some games to look at for Friday too.
Definitely. And my game of the week is an easy one this week. It's Clarksville and Rossview. The girls' game especially, that was decided by just 1 point last time they met, with Rossview winning that one at home. The boys' game was not very close, but with CHS playing better lately, who knows? Maybe they could keep this one a little bit closer. I think Rossview should win that one anyway, but we will see.
Well, the temperature's hovering around the 30s and has been all week long, but your player of the week, Brady, Eddie Ricks, stayed red hot right before all this weather came in.
Yeah, red hot. Not enough ice to prevent him from making it rain. He had 44 points against Nashville Christian. He's just so incredibly talented. He had 21 points the night before in a loss against Greenbrier. Good Pasture. Mixing up my long G names there.
Too many of them.
Maybe not enough, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, 44 points. He was obviously very upset about that loss to Good Pasture and just absolutely went off against Nashville Christian. He's definitely my player of the week.
Another top performer at East Robertson, Elijah Groves, who's looking at himself as a Class 1A Mr. Basketball nominee. He had 36 points against Joe Burns. That's a loss on Friday, but give a quick shout out to Kamarian Flair at Springfield. He's 9 points away from eclipsing 1,000. We'll see if he does it Friday against the Eagles.
And with that, that should wrap us up for Main Street Preps North today. Blaine, anything else you want to add?
You're setting me up every time here. Besides this podcast being sponsored by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, I've got nothing. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.